2022 is here, and theme park enthusiasts around the globe have lots to look forward to this year. With so many new rides, coasters, and other attractions on the horizon, it can be hard to keep track of what's coming where. But that's what I'm for. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Adventures with Parker. In today's episode of Theme Park Parlay, I'm going to discuss all of the major theme park additions of 2022, including coasters, rides, attractions, food, and even a few entirely new parks. There's lots to discuss, so without any further ado, let's talk theme parks. Before we get into it, I just want to say real quick that this will be my final video of Season 5. However, I want to send an invitation for everyone to join me for my halfway to 1K Q&A and Season 5 finale live stream extravaganza! This will be a chance for you to hang out with me and ask me your questions live right here on YouTube. It'll all be happening on Thursday, January 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alrighty, starting off with the Cedar Fair chain, the only major coaster addition this year is Toombili at King's Dominion. This S&S free spin will also be accompanied by a new themed land, Jungle Expedition, which will see new theming and a collection of restaurants and shops called Base Camp added to the old Safari Village area. For the most part, it looks like Cedar Fair is focusing on general upgrades across all of their parks. Cedar Point will be receiving a restaurant on the site of their former Antique Cars attraction in the Frontier Town area of the park. And over at my home park, Canada's Wonderland is building a 500-seat, 13,000 square foot restaurant. It looks like it'll be similar to Carowinds Harmony Hall, as it'll serve a wide collection of cuisines at different stations and feature a bar. The new building will have a Timber Lodge theme, and it will even have some outdoor fire pits on the patio. I'm so excited for this. Canada's Wonderland desperately needs new and better food venues, and this perfectly fits the theme of Frontier Canada. Kings Island will be celebrating their 50th season in 2022, and their iconic wooden roller coaster, the Beast, will have over 2,000 feet of its layout retracked and reprofiled by Gravity Group. Knott's Berry Farm will not be adding anything new this year, but they are closing Montezuma's Revenge for the 2022 season. But don't worry, it will return in 2023 after some extensive refurbishments and renovations. The biggest news out of Six Flags, apart from some interesting changes in their leadership and business strategy, is the addition of 2 new coasters across the chain. Six Flags Fiesta Texas will be getting Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, a 150-foot tall B&M dive coaster featuring a beyond vertical 95-degree drop, making it the steepest dive coaster in the world and the first dive coaster in the Six Flags chain. Six Flags Magic Mountain will be welcoming Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, an RMC Raptor that will essentially follow the same layout as Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure. The difference? Wonder Woman will be a whole foot taller than its Jersey counterpart. But that's not where 2022 coasters end for Six Flags, as they plan on finally opening a few previously announced coasters too. Sidewinder Safari is a Zamperla spinning wild mouse coming to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and it'll also be tied to a new jungle-themed animal exhibit. Green Lantern from Magic Mountain will live on as Vipere at La Ronde, and Six Flags Over Texas will make a splash with their Mac Power Splash Aquaman Power Wave. The park will also reintroduce Pirates of Spelunker Cave. The original Spelunker Cave operated from 1964 to 1990 until it was replaced by Yosemite Sam's Gold River Adventure. The next generation of this classic ride will combine projections with animatronics in 17 brand new scenes. And finally, over at Six Flags St. Louis, the park is getting ready to welcome Catwoman Whip, a booster-style ride that will tower 164 feet over the park. Swimming on over to SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, the chain is finally ready to introduce some coasters that were originally meant for 2020. Iron Gwazi, the RMC iBox conversion of the park's former dueling GCI wooden coaster, Gwazi, will be roaring into Busch Gardens, Tampa on March 11th. With a height of 210 feet, a length of 4,075 feet, and a 91-degree drop, Iron will be the tallest, fastest, and steepest hybrid coaster in the world. Pantheon will also be making its debut at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This Intamin multi-launch coaster will be the world's fastest multi-launch coaster, taking riders through elements inspired by the Roman Pantheon, including a multi-pass launch and a 180-foot-tall top hat. Making a dive at SeaWorld San Diego on March 12th is California's first B&M dive coaster, Emperor. And finally breaking the ice at SeaWorld Orlando is Icebreaker, a Premier Rides multi-launch coaster. This coaster seems to be on the milder side, but I personally think it'll be an unexpected hit for 2022. Aside from these carryovers, the world's tallest S&S screaming swing, Tidal Surge, is also getting ready to take flight at SeaWorld San Diego. Sesame Place in Philadelphia will also be adding a new kids ride called Big Bird's Tour Bus, which will spin young riders on a big red double-decker bus with everyone's favorite lanky yellow avian friend at the wheel. Speaking of Sesame Street, 2022 will also be the year that Sesame Place San Diego opens its gates for the very first time. This new-ish theme park was once the site of Aquatica, the water park that accompanied SeaWorld San Diego. But in March, the park will reopen as a wet dry park and SoCal's home for the Sesame Street characters. In addition to rethemes of the former Aquatica water slides, Sesame Place will offer an interactive Sesame Street neighborhood featuring iconic locations from the TV series, and some new family-friendly rides like Abby's Fairy Flight, Cookie Climb, Elmo's Rockin' Rockets, Rosita's Harmony Hills, Rub-a-Dub Sub, Sesame Street Soarin' Spin, Sunny Day Carousel, and Super Grover's Boxcar Derby. This honestly looks like a fantastic park that the whole family will be able to enjoy. And like the original Sesame Place in Philadelphia, the West Coast version will also be a certified autism center. This year will also be the inaugural year of the first SeaWorld park outside of the United States, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. Like other SeaWorld parks, this park will feature 68,000 marine animals, including the world's largest aquarium, a research, rescue, and rehabilitation center, and rides. But unlike its predecessors, much of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi will be indoors, and no orcas will be calling this park home. Not too much is known about SeaWorld's attractions yet, but there will be a low-to-the-ground triple launch coaster from Intamin. Palace Entertainment, the US portion of the international Parque Reunidos chain, has some exciting additions planned for their parks, starting off with the acquisition of Adventureland in Iowa. Previously a family-owned and operated theme park, Palace Entertainment's newest property will also be adding 9 new flat rides from Zamperla in 2022. The Warhawks, Bernie's Swing, The Lighthouse, The Revolution, Leapfrogs, Circus Balloons, The Clipper, Speedway Racers, and Rockin' Rainbow. Kennywood will be reinstating their iconic kangaroo ride, which was removed back in 2020. After receiving a thorough refurbishment from Premier Rides, Kangaroo will be bouncing back better than ever, and with a pretty new lighting package too. Kennywood is also in the process of refurbishing the Old Mill and giving several of their coasters a fresh coat of paint, including a new color scheme for Phantom's Revenge. Okay, moving on, let's look at what's going on at the other independent regional parks in North America. Let's start off with what I would say is the most exciting news for North American theme parks in 2022. The opening of Lost Island Theme Park in Waterloo, Iowa. This brand new 90-acre park is being built by the Birch family, who own the adjacent Lost Island Water Park. From the looks of it, this park is going to be beautifully and immersively themed, with 5 themed lands based on different tribes of people representing natural elements. Most of these rides seem to be used rides that previously operated at other parks, but still, it looks awesome. Lost Island will open with 3 roller coasters. A Vekoma SLC that previously operated as Cobra at Ratanga Junction in South Africa, an Intamin Accelerator Coaster, aka Kanonen from Liseberg in Sweden, and a Junior Wacky Worm. Not to mention the ride I'm most intrigued about, Volcano, Quest for the Golden Idol, a fiery new Salicore Dark ride housed in the park's Volcano centerpiece. I'm planning on doing a video that goes into more detail about the attraction of this park, so keep an eye out for that in Season 6. But that's not the only new theme park the US will be welcoming in 2022. Mattel Adventure Park at Crystal Lagoons Island Resort in Glendale, Arizona will be the world's first theme park based on the popular toy brand
Mattel.
The new park will feature a rideable Thomas the Tank Engine electric battery-powered train, a 4D flying theater, go-karts, and 2 Hot Wheels themed roller coasters. The first will be a Chance Rides family coaster called Bone Shaker, and the other will be a Chance Hyper GTX, which is the same model as Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom, except this version will feature 3 red-hot inversions. The Crystal Lagoons Resort will also feature some themed hotels, a water park, themed dining experiences, and retail. Adventureland in Long Island, New York will be adding Fireball, the first rollerball model in North America. The rollerball is designed by Ride Engineers Switzerland, and if any of y'all grew up playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 like I did, you might recognize it as the Dizzy Drops coaster from the Wild expansion. Announced at IAAPA back in November, Palindrome is expected to be racing into action at Codaland in Austin, Texas. This small theme park is part of the Circuit of the Americas, and Palindrome will be a custom infinity coaster built by Gerstlauer. It'll feature a vertical lift, a near vertical drop, 2 inversions, including a stall that stretches over the freaking road, and a funky vertical spike featuring a new kind of element called a hop stall. After that, gravity will take over and send riders backwards through the layout. Codaland will also be adding Skyblazer, a new high-capacity version of the Sky Coaster. Speaking of Gerstlauer, Defiance will defy gravity and enthusiast expectations when it opens at Glenwood Caverns. This new Euro coaster looks insane, but I mean, this is just the kind of quirky addition you'd expect from a theme park on top of a mountain, am I right? The first new coaster under Gene Staples' ownership of Indiana Beach, American Dryadar Looping, is finally expected to open this year. It was originally supposed to open last summer, but nevertheless, it'll be great to see this 1984 Schwarzkopf coaster, the first coaster in the world to feature 3 vertical loops by the way, see some new life amidst the cornfields of Indiana. Luna Park in Coney Island is getting ready to open 4 new attractions this year, a zipline coaster called Sky Chase, a ropes course, and a Zamperla J2SK family coaster, which will be intertwined with a super flume. Big Wave Z, a new drop tower model from Zamperla featuring a splashdown, was also expected to open in 2022, but rumors suggest that it may not open until 2023 at this point. The newest coaster at Alabama Adventure will be Cheddar Chase, a wild mouse coaster that is allegedly a relocation of Wild Lightning from Lake Winnie. And finally, Airy Force One will be the world's newest iBox hybrid coaster from RMC when it opens at Fun Spot Atlanta. This is a very exciting and interesting addition for the small park, and at $13 million, it'll be the largest investment in Fun Spot's history. Named and themed in honor of John Ari Sr., the father of current Fun Spot CEO John Ari Jr., Airy Force One will begin with a 154-foot 83-degree drop that sends riders flying through 4 inversions and many airtime hills. The 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World is currently in full swing. The celebration kicked off on October 1st, 2021 with the opening of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. But that's not where the festivities end. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will open this summer at the former Energy Pavilion in Epcot. Manufactured by Vekoma, this ride is kind of like the coaster version of an Omnimover, as it'll have the ability to pivot and spin riders in any direction as the story requires. Cosmic Rewind will rocket guests from the Galaxarium on an adventure to Xandar and beyond as they learn about how galaxies are formed alongside the hilariously awesome Guardians of the Galaxy. Over at the Magic Kingdom, Tron Light Cycle Run, a clone of the Vekoma motorbike coaster from Shanghai Disneyland, may also open this year, but no official opening date has been announced yet. If Tron is indeed destined to come on board in 2022, it probably won't be until late fall or early winter. Speaking of winter, Arendelle, the World of Frozen, will be Disney's first land dedicated to the Frozen franchise, and it's opening at Hong Kong Disneyland this year. The land will feature a version of the popular Frozen Ever After boat ride, a small roller coaster similar to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train called Wandering Oaken Sliding Sleighs, and a new restaurant, which sounds delicious, as long as everything they serve isn't frozen. Almost a year after the first Avengers campus opened at Disney's California Adventure, the second iteration of this marvelous new land will be ready at Walt Disney Studios later this year. Like its DCA counterpart, the Paris version will contain Spider-Man web slingers, the Pym Test Kitchen restaurant, and several super character interactions. This new land will also be home to Rock and Roller Coaster, now with a yet-to-be-named Iron Man makeover. Next, let's talk about Merlin Entertainment's plans for 2022. Starting off with some exciting new developments at Legoland, Florida. Within the park itself, Legoland will be introducing Pirates River Quest. This new boat ride will be revitalizing the old canal boats that used to operate at Cypress Gardens long before Legoland ever came on the scene. This new ride will once again take guests on a scenic tour through the canals while also incorporating an interactive pirate-themed treasure hunt along the way. And of course, we can't talk about Legoland, Florida without talking about the resort's newest park, Peppa Pig Theme Park.
Peppa Pig? No!
Peppa Pig Theme Park will be a separate gate that contains fun Peppa Pig themed children's rides, like Grampy Rabbit's Dinosaur Adventure, Granddad Dog's Pirate Boat Ride, Mr. Bull's High Striker, Peppa's Pedal Bike Tour, Peppa's Balloon Ride, and of course, the ironically iconic Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster. The park will also feature several play areas, a muddy puddle splash pad, nature trails, free carnival games, and iconic locations from the series. A brand new Legoland park is also gearing up to open in South Korea. Legoland Korea will contain many of the attractions you find in other Legoland parks, such as Miniland, the Dragon Coaster Ninjago, and even the Lego Factory Adventure Ride. For 2022, Gardaland in Italy will be opening the world's first attraction themed to Jumanji. Not much is known about Jumanji the Adventure as of right now, but it sounds like some sort of highly themed coaster that'll feature both indoor and outdoor sections. I feel like this concept of dark ride coaster mashups is starting to become a trend at theme parks, and I for one am living for it. Hey, since we're on the subject of theme parks in Europe, the continent has so much to offer this year as far as theme parks go. At Parc Astérix in France, Tonnerre de Zeus will reopen after a hefty refurbishment and profiling by the Gravity Group. The original Tonnerre de Zeus was built by Custom Coasters International and opened in 1997. This new iteration will feature some extra bank turns, small hills, and new Timberliner trains from Gravity Craft, including a reverse car at the back of the train. Making its Denmark at Verop Summerland, Phoenix will be a custom coaster from Vekoma. It'll feature a 131-foot first drop, 2,969 feet of track, and 3 inversions, plus some general low-to-the-ground zippiness. Valhalla has been a fan-favorite indoor log flume at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but it's been down over the past few years for a major refurbishment. It'll be ready to return for the 2022 season, and although Blackpool has kept their plans on the project hushed, I imagine the new and improved experience will be better than ever. Energylandia will, yet again, be introducing a brand new themed area in 2022. Does that park ever quit? Anyways, Sweet Valley will be a whimsical candy-themed area containing 10 new rides and attractions. Choco Chip Creek will be a 4,000-foot Vekoma mine train coaster, and with 3 lift hills, it's among the longest coasters in the park. Sweet Valley will also be home to a second coaster, this time a Vekoma Junior coaster called Honey Harbor. Other rides include Candy Carousel, Crazy Barn, Lollipop Farm, Tree Grove, Tea and Treats, and Choco Valley Mini Tour. Sweet Valley will also have some playgrounds and Sweet Valley Town Hall, a restaurant and theater space that can accommodate up to 1,000 people. A new themed area called Luna Park is also set to come to Liseberg in Sweden. It'll contain 2 new flat rides, Turbo, a spinning carousel type of ride, and Tempest, a Zamperla Nebula. The land will also be home to a family boomerang coaster called Luna, but that'll have to be a topic for next year's video. Efteling in the Netherlands will be opening a new Sinbad-themed mini area, along with some re-themes of the rides Avonturen Doolhof and Monsieur Cannibal, which will reopen as Archipel and Sirocco. Staying in the Netherlands, Toverland is preparing to open Expedition Zork, a re-theme to their log flume. The new experience will send guests on an adventure aboard a transport system created by investor Maximus Mueller. Along the way, you'll wind through an alpine village before coming face to face with a green swamp creature named Zork. And we can't forget about Tato Park in Ireland, which will be opening Dino Dash, a Vekoma Junior coaster. Now, I don't know too much about the theme park industry in Asia, so I'm undoubtedly going to be missing some cool projects here, but I'll do my best to mention everything that's come to my attention. By the way, if you know of some cool new ride or show or something coming anywhere in the world that didn't get mentioned in this video, feel free to let me and everyone else know about it by dropping a comment. Anywho, Lotte World Magic Forest is a new theme park that is expected to open this summer in Busan, South Korea. I actually talked about it in last year's video, as it was originally expected to open in 2021. As the name suggests, the park will be themed to a magic forest. Along with some beautifully themed family attractions, Magic Forest will open with 2 coasters, a mock power splash called Giant Splash and Giant Digger, a clone of Blue Fire, also from Mock Rides. Another new theme park, Genting Skyworlds, will be opening in Pahang, Malaysia. This park was originally planned as 20th Century Fox World, but they ultimately changed their name due to the fact that Fox is now owned by Disney. Nevertheless, the 25-acre park is still expected to feature attractions themed to 20th Century Fox IPs, like Ice Age, Rio, Epic, Life of Pi, Night at the Museum, Planet of the Apes, Alien vs. Predator, Titanic, Sons of Anarchy, and Independence Day. The theme park in the clouds looks to be beautifully themed and will feature some very interesting attractions. I can't go over everything in this video, but some highlights include Acorn Adventure, an Ice Age themed water coaster, Mad Ramp Peak, a racing motorbike coaster, Night at the Museum, Midnight Mayhem, an interactive 3D dark ride, and Samba Gliders, a Rio-themed single-rail suspended coaster. If you enjoy Nickelodeon Universe at Mall of America and American Dream, well, there's soon going to be another one at Chongqing, China. As you might expect, the park is being developed by the 555 Group, the same company behind the West Edmonton Mall, American Dream Mall, and Mall of America. China's Nickelodeon Universe will open with 4 roller coasters, an Intamin shuttle coaster called Mikey's Half Pipe, an Intamin spinning coaster called Shredder, an Intamin multi-launch coaster called Turbo Turtle Power that, based on my research, seems to have a similar layout to Takabisha and TMNT's Shellraiser, and a yet-to-be-named Mauer Spike coaster. Of course, the park will also have a wacky collection of Nickelodeon-themed flat rides to round off their collection of attractions. Bollywood Parks Dubai, a theme park located in the same resort complex as Motion Gate Dubai, will be adding their first coaster, Bombay Express. This will be a GCI wooden coaster, although it's actually a hybrid because the supports are made of steel, but we don't know too much about it yet other than that. But that's not all from GCI this year. Roaring Timbers will be opening at SunWorld Hon Thom Nature Park in Vietnam. Roaring Timbers will be 95 feet tall and careen through 2,798 feet of track. Jumping back over to Dubai, a new Intamin coaster called Storm is currently under construction at the Dubai Hills Mall. It'll be housed in this beautiful glass tower and feature an LSM lift hill. Skyloop, Premier Ride's 10th installation of the Skyrocket 2 model, will be opening at Riyadh Winter Wonderland in Saudi Arabia. And a Mauer Ride spinning coaster will be opening in Sunak Cultural Tourism City in Zhejiang, China. Henan Ocean Paradise is a theme park that just opened this past December in Lingshui, China. However, they already have plans to open 2 new coasters in 2022. Barracuda, an Intamin vertical lift coaster featuring 5 inversions that looks very similar to Fahrenheit over at Hershey Park, and Twister, an Intamin spinning coaster. They'll also be adding an Intamin coaster wheel, aka the same kind of Ferris wheel as Mickey's Fun Wheel at DCA. Finally, a new Mack LSM launch coaster called Hurricane at Suzhou Forest World will be opening in early 2022. With a 203-foot tall top hat and 5 inversions, including a Cobra roll that seems to have a cool interaction with the top hat and vertical loop, Hurricane looks like a force to be reckoned with. Let's wrap this up with some rides from Down Under. Leviathan, no, not that one, is a wooden coaster that will open this Easter at SeaWorld on the Gold Coast. Designed by the Gravity Group, this splintery sea serpent will have a max height of 105 feet and a length of 3,280 feet. And that is everything new in the theme park industry for 2022. Of course, it's kind of impossible to mention every new addition out there, so like I said earlier, if you know of anything that I missed, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what new attraction you're most looking forward to in 2022. Personally, I'm really excited to check out that new restaurant at Canada's Wonderland, but I think I'm gonna have to start thinking about a trip to Iowa one of these days so I can check out Adventure Island. Same with Genting SkyWorlds in Malaysia, that park looks so cool. Anyways, if you want to follow me on those potential future adventures, you definitely want to consider becoming a subscriber. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that notification bell too. That way, you'll get updates on all of my theme park, travel, local, and outdoor adventures. Also, be sure to find me on Instagram and Twitter at ADBParker. And once again, I want to remind you that I am planning a live stream right here on YouTube for Thursday, January 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can join us, I'd love to see you there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and as always, the adventures are calling. Granddad